What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the TCO Fantasy Football Show. Whoop! Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very special episode. It is our first Dynasty Fantasy Football content episode. And yes, it is Dynasty time. Whoop whoop! On today's episode, we're going to be going over 3 rookie wide receivers that I like for 2022. And guess what, people? If you don't have any 2022 rookie draft picks, you should probably go get some. Because every single day you don't have one, the value of them is going to keep on rising. Every single day. So go get some 2022 rookie draft picks if you got none. Let's get into today's episode. Alrighty, so my first guy has one little issue. If you don't have a top 5 pick, you're probably not going to get him. He's named after a hip-hop sensation. It's Drake London, baby. And let me tell you a little bit about Drake London. This guy is 6'5", 210 pounds. He is a wide receiver who, if you throw the ball up to 9 out of 10 times, he's probably going to come down with it. He played all 3 years at USC, and this past season he had 88 catches, 1,084 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 12.3 yards per catch. Pretty good stats. The only thing that scares me just a tad bit is the fact that this was his first year of serious production. In 2020, he only had 33 catches, 502 yards, and in 2019, he only had 39 catches, 567 yards. But he was also playing behind Amon-Ra St. Brown last year, and the year before that, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Michael Pittman. And he was also dealing with a little ankle injury, which since then he's clearly overcome. So I wouldn't look too far into that, but it's always good to know. But I'm very excited for Drake London. Everybody has him projected being a back of the first round, maybe middle of the first round pick in this year's NFL draft. And a lot of people have him going to the Jets, the Patriots, the Chiefs. And if he ended up on a team with a good young quarterback, I could see him producing right out the gate. And so I am very excited for Drake London. I currently have him as one of my top 3 rookies for this year. And I'm excited for him. I think he's going to be really good in the NFL. I think that 6'5" is going to help him out a lot. So if you have the chance, go get yourself some Drake London. So my next guy is probably one of my most favorite guys in this whole entire draft class. I actually just traded for a pick so that I could possibly get him. You want to know who it is? It is David Bell. And I love this kid. He has great hands and he runs amazing routes. He's not the flashiest wide receiver on the field, but he has great dynamics. And so he played for 3 seasons at Purdue, and he is 6'2", 205 pounds. In this past season, he had 93 catches, 1,286 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 13.8 yards per catch. But do you want to know what stat I like even more than that? The fact that he's had over 100 yards receiving over the past 2 seasons. And his freshman year, he had 86 yards per catch, which is also just as good. And so I really like David Bell a lot. I think the biggest issue with him, though, is probably going to be where he gets drafted. You see, if he is a top 40 pick, we should be using a first rounder on him 110%, maybe even a middle first rounder of your rookie draft. But if he doesn't get drafted there, and he gets drafted in the late second, early third, we're going to be looking at him in a little bit of a different light, just because of the amount of value that teams were willing to spend on him. But nonetheless, I think talent is going to prevail, and I really like David Bell, and I'm going to try and get him in every single one of my leagues, and so should you. David Bell, checkmark. Yes, sir. So my last guy is definitely somebody you would consider a sleeper. But the good part about that is that we don't have to use a first-round pick on him. We could get him in the middle second, or maybe even the late second if we're really lucky. Do you want to know who it is? It's Justin Ross. And Justin Ross has one really good thing about him. This man is 6'4", 205 pounds. He is a skinny, fast receiver who can go up and get the ball. He is super duper talented. He played for Clemson for 4 seasons, technically 3 because he sat out 2020 because of COVID. And his stats aren't that good. He got 46 catches, 514 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 11.2 yards per catch this past season. In 2019, he had 66 catches, 865 yards, and in 2018, he had 46 catches, 1,000 yards. So, the stats aren't that crazy, but let's forget about them for 1 minute. What I love about him is he played with one of the best Clemson quarterbacks for his freshman and sophomore year. Do you want to know who that was? It was Trevor Lawrence. And so I'm thinking that because Justin Ross's draft stock has fallen so much, I'm thinking the Jags might take him. And if the Jags take him and pair him back up with Trevor Lawrence, we could be looking at a very lower tier Jalen Waddle and Tua, or a very lower tier Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. And I'm really excited to see that because Justin Ross is a very good receiver, and he already has the chemistry with Trevor Lawrence. But if he doesn't end up in Jacksonville, he's still a very good receiver at 6'4", and I wouldn't mind seeing him just about anywhere because everybody wants a big receiver that's skinny and fast and can go up and get the ball, and I want one on my fantasy team. So Justin Ross is somebody who I'm looking to get in the later rounds as a little sleeper, you know? So let's do a quick little summary. The first guy that we are trying to get is Drake London, a 6'5" demon out of USC who's trying to go up there and grab some passes for our fantasy football teams. The second guy, David Bell, a great possession wide receiver who has some very good hands and runs some pretty darn good routes, who would also make another great addition. The third guy, Justin Ross, our sleeper guy, but you know what? He could definitely end up being much more than that. And so those are my 3 wide receivers that I like for 2022. And that's all the information I have for today. So thank you guys for watching, and please like, subscribe. You should follow this Instagram account that I am putting right here. Please. And thank you. And that's all I got for today. Thank you guys for watching the TCO Fantasy Football Show. Have a wonderful day, everybody.